Hello, hello, YouTube. This is Conservative Free Spirit. I want to thank you for joining me today. I wanted to do something different for you all that I normally do in my personal life. And this is the full moon in Sagittarius Release and Replace. Normally a few days before the full moon or the new moon, I really want to set the tone for what is about to come. The full moon, as we discussed, is about releasing. And then in Sagittarius, letting go of the boundaries, the restrictions, the obstacles, and whatever it is that you need to release in your life mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, financially, vibrationally, energetically. And using this full moon in Sagittarius energy to aid you. So I just want to kind of walk you through my process. By no means do you have to do exactly what I do or how I do it. You may watch this and realize that you want to do it a certain way or you don't want to do it at all. This isn't just something that you can do for the full moon. You can also do it every day, if you will, just releasing and replacing whatever energy that you're coming across. And trying to be as specific as possible, because every day you're growing, every day you're maturing, every day you're facing different obstacles. It may or may not be the same test every single day that you're encountering. So just to kind of go from the beginning, normally I try to burn some sage. Sometimes I even burn pine cones just for like release and, for protection. I don't have any pine cones. It's been raining a lot lately, but the white candle has been something that has been very prevalent in my mind. Just continuously telling me, get a white candle. Get a white candle. So I finally got one today, and I wanted to start off my ceremony or ritual or whatever you would like to call it, or session, burning the candle. So this will also be a lot of trial and error. If you want to skip to certain parts of the video, you're more than welcome to do so. There is no format in this. I'm just going to take my time, and I'm going to do this live for you all as I would normally do it, or without people being around. And I just hope that you're able to take something positive, high vibrating away from this, something that helps you in your life or on this journey. This video is for all signs, all walks of life. It's relevant for whenever you're seeing this video. There's no particular time frame. Whenever you're seeing it, that's when it's for you. So as I do that, normally I burn whatever it is I burn, sage or a pine cone. Today it's a white candle. I meditate for however long my meditation lasts. So it's no set time. If it takes you all day, if it takes you a few times, to meditate. Normally I do this throughout the day, beginning later at night. Normally a few times throughout the day in the evening. Oh, did that sound right? I feel like this is a different format than from when I did the full moon in Scorpio. So I'm just letting my divine spirit, my intuition, my discernment guide me, because maybe this is the format that needs to be done for this full moon in Sagittarius. So then after I burn whatever it is that I burn, I meditate, and then I shuffle my cards. So this is still the same format that has been occurring. And normally 2 cards usually fall out or fly out. Let's see, as you see, it is the Hermit and the Knight of Pentacles. And what do you see when you see these 2 cards? What comes to your mind as you sit and look at the cards and look at what's in the image? Don't just completely rely on me, because my message may not be relevant to you, and that's just the honest truth. It may be relevant to somebody else, you know, whoever else is watching it, or whoever's not watching it. That's just the truth. So, and then after I pull my cards, I look at them. I told you I kind of meditate on this a little bit. The Hermit card kept coming out. I had a lot of other cards that were kind of facing up as I was shuffling. A lot of really positive cards, but I didn't want to take those cards, or I didn't feel like it was necessary to take those cards. And then these 2 cards came out, so I figured that was my norm, and that's the end of my shuffle. As I meditated on the Hermit card, it was certainly looking back on what was, how I conduct myself, what I said, you know, maybe some regret, maybe not some regret, maybe me patting myself on the back, maybe me just observing people, places, and things and situations, you know, taking this time to look back at the past of what was. Did I learn those lessons? Have I learned those lessons? Will I repeat them? I don't know. But I do feel for a lot of the instances that have occurred, I feel as if I have learned those lessons and I'm able to progress forward. And as they say in Christianity, new levels, new devils. So I feel as if, and I know that I have overcome a lot spiritually, mentally, physically, emotionally, financially, vibrationally, energetically, etc. And that's my thing. So I'm going to say that a lot. That's just what I've been saying. Oh, and I also forgot that whenever I get started into the actual releasing, I do a releasing mantra or spell protection. I don't normally use these words. I just do what it is. So I'm going to say it, and then you figure out, you know, what you want to label it as. And hopefully I'll do some research on it, and I'll come back and I'll have the right term. So normally, I'm kind of sitting around because I'm trying to get you guys in on everything that I do. Okay, so we'll come back to the cards. So normally, as I burn my sage, my pine cone, my candle, whatever, I meditate, shuffle my cards, something pops out, I kind of meditate on that. And then I say this that I say, and I say, I rebuke any assignment that has been sent to steal, kill, destroy, hurt, harm, or endanger me, my family, friends, my possessions, my property. I command that assignment to return back to sender, to manifest in the sender's existence and to devour the sender, and for the sender to be exposed due to the manifestation of the assignment in their existence. And then I go into reviewing the cards and pulling my cards and speaking my release and my replace. I do that at the beginning and I do it at the end. So that's the start. So then let's go back to the cards. So then I also see the Knight of Pentacles, and it's moving forward. It's slow movement. It's steady though. It's intentional. It's calculated. It's manifestation with intent. It's not something that's just all over the place, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, vibrationally, financially, etc. This is energy that maybe you are looking back on your past, seeing how you can make money out of your past, hurt, pain, laughter, joy. Maybe you're looking back on your past and realizing the foolishness or the greatness that went on and realizing that that is in fact the past. So now let me move on because I've released that. And let me make money, focus on my coins, secure my bag, invest, be aware of how I'm spending my money, be aware of what opportunities are being presented to me that may seem like they benefit me when in fact they may not. This could also be energy of your subconscious looking back on the past and bringing up old things that maybe you have not dealt with because now you're moving forward and you're only focusing on finances, or your subconscious trying to go back and rewrite some of the past so that it doesn't feel as bad, or it doesn't seem as bad, or maybe it doesn't seem as good. But however it is that you're trying to rewrite it so that it benefits you. And maybe this Knight of Pentacles is just a card of benefiting. How have the situations in your past, how are they benefiting you now? A lot of times we meet people and go through circumstances and we hate those people. We hate those circumstances. You know, we see those people, we probably would run them over or shoot them because that's how furious and angry and resentment that we have for them. You know, we might cuss them out. We may degrade them because we didn't realize and we're not grateful. We're not to that level of maturity yet. Some of you may not be at that level of maturity yet to say, you know, thank God I met that person. You know, they ruined my life. But thank God I met that person because now I'm more attentive. I'm not defensive, but I'm attentive. I'm alert. You know, I'm not as trusting in people. It's not that I don't trust people, but now I listen to what people have to say. I pay attention to how people move. You know, I call people on their word. I hold them to their word now. So maybe if you can go back and rewrite your past of this person or these people or places or things that were so detriment to your life, to your past, can you go back and rewrite that and say, you know, this happened, that happened, you know, maybe this would not have occurred in my life had I not met that person, but since I did meet them, you know, I'm more awake, I'm more intuitive, I'm more listening to my spirit of discernment. You know, I save my money better. I don't depend on people. You know, I allow people to exist and be exactly who they are. You know, if they're a bum, if they're a king, if they're an emperor, you know, if they're a fuck boy, if they a thought, you know, if they're whatever, you know, I allow them to exist in that energy without me trying to change them or manipulate them. Because sometimes you need to see people for exactly who they are. So I ask you, have you learned the lessons? And maybe this is your subconscious revisiting a lot of things, not necessarily so that you can say yes to some people or places that hurt or harmed you or stole from you or tried to kill you or tried to destroy you or endanger you, not so that you can say yes and allow them back in your life, but have you learned the lessons so now you can move forward and reap the benefits, reap the rewards? Have you learned the lesson from encountering a narcissist? Have you learned the lesson from saying yes too early, trusting too early, not reading the fine print? Have you learned the lesson of not saying yes when you know you should have said yes? You should have said yes. Have you learned the lesson of taking too long to make a decision and missing out on wonderful opportunities with wonderful people? Have you learned the lesson of not listening to your intuition, your spirit of discernment? Have you learned the lesson of not keeping your own counsel? Have you learned the lesson of not going to the baker for bread, but instead going to the engineer for bread? Going to your mechanic for bread? Going to the hairstylist for bread? When all you had to do was go to the baker for bread. Have you learned those lessons? So this seems to be the narrative that something about you is revisiting or dwelling in the past. How have you profited from that encounter, those encounters? Are you reaping the rewards from those encounters? Only you know the answer to that. You can pretend and have a conversation with somebody else or act different when someone else comes around, but you know the truth. So now we're going to begin the release and replace. So excuse my silence. It may take me some time to just gather, you know, what it is that needs to be released and replaced. And while I'm doing this, you know, you may look at these two cards as something that needs to be released, both of them, or something that needs to be replaced. But I believe I've also informed you that it's very important for you to verbalize what it is that you're replacing something with. Because if you do not command that energy, the universe is just going to drop something in it. You know, it's an empty space. It's a void. So make sure that as you're releasing all of these things from your existence, your future, your past, your generations to come, that you are replacing it with something beautiful, positive, wise, something prosperous, something successful, something that's a catalyst to greatness. Okay. So don't wait for me to begin my release and my replace. When I pull the card and you see it, begin speaking amongst yourself, whatever it is that you see in the card or whatever it is that it reminds you of. Begin speaking. And if you're not able to do that, then I'll certainly listen to what it is that I'm saying. So I'm going to show it to you first. I hope it's in the camera because I'm trying not to look. Okay. So now I'm going to take a peek. This is the first card that popped out when I started my shuffle. Okay. The Six of Wands. So I release the need to be affirmed by others. I release the need to have others hold me in a high esteem. I release the need to be acknowledged, to be guided, to be directed by others because I'm God. I'm King. That's Dolo, the pilot men and women are walking vibrations. I'm God. I'm King. And this is the energy that is within me. I hold my own counsel. And when I am confused, when I am not feeling my best, I'm going to the baker for bread. I'm going to the mechanic to repair my car. I'm not going to the gardener to repair my car or to the engineer for bread. Whenever I do seek guidance and counsel and emotional support and physical guidance outside of myself, I'm going to the right people. I'm going to the right sources. The right sources. I'm going to the right sources. And that's what I replace that release for the need of the acknowledgement from others. I replace it with the correct sources. The correct sources mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, vibrationally, financially, energetically. I release the need to have all eyes on me. And I replace it with walking in my truth, walking in my purpose, walking in my destiny, and taking my reality with me, no matter where I go, no matter who I communicate with. Show it to you first. Hopefully it's in the camera. Okay, now I'm going to take a peek at it. Okay, the Ace of Pentacles. I release currency. I release the spirit of currency. I release the spirit of money. I release the idea that money is everything, the only thing. Uh-oh. I release the need and the desire and the want that the only way to be happy, the only way to feel prosperous, the only way to believe that I am successful is by money, by currency, whatever that currency is at the time. And I replace it with favor. I replace it with favor everywhere that I go. that I have favor in the eyes of man and spirit, that I have favor in the kingdoms, the queendoms, the galaxies, the existences, the known and the unknown, that I have favor wherever I go to receive whatever it is that I need and to give whatever is needed to be given. I release the dependency on money, on currency, to make my life better. For my life is already amazing. It's already great. I release being a slave to money, to currency, and I replace it with living my purpose, living my dreams, waking up and walking every day in my destiny, not doing what I don't want to do, going where I don't want to go. For a lot of you, that may be work, any kind of work. I release being a slave to a job, to a company, to money, to currency. I replace it with the manifestation of entrepreneurship in my life. I replace it with the manifestation of entrepreneurship so that I may provide an opportunity to others to work for me, but to provide them with the tools and the guidance and the wisdom necessary so that they can become entrepreneurs. And they can employ others, and they can teach others, and they can become entrepreneurs and employ others for generations to come. I release the bind that money or currency has over me, over my seeds, over my generations, over my past generations, over my life. I release the fascination of glitter and gold in my past lives and my current lives and my seeds' lives and my family and friends' lives. I release the fascination of glitter and gold, the worshiping of money, of currency. I release it. And I replace it with abundance of favor. That I may have so much money, so much currency that I may not need to spend it, but that I may invest it and give. Take a look at it. What is it that you see that first comes to your mind? I release attachment to anyone and anything, any thought process, any existence, any entity that is on assignment to steal my joy, to control me, to reprimand me for being in my existence, in my reality. I release anyone who tries to make me conform to their reality, and I replace it with me being genuine, me being aware, me being alert, me having self-esteem, self-love, self-awareness of who I am, having self-confidence in myself enough to acknowledge when someone is trying to knock me out of my reality and make me exist in their reality. I replace this conforming with free will, with free spirit, high vibrating free will, free spirit, respecting other people, respecting spirits, allowing them to come and go without me trying to control everything, and without me trying to be controlled. I release ailments. I release any blockages in my heart, in my lungs, in my capillaries, in my arteries. I command the blood to flow freely without hindrance in my body, in my existence. I release any decaying food that may be within my existence that I'm not aware of, and I command it to come out so that I be cleansed, nourished first, and cleansed. I command any blockages in my mind, in my spirit, in my physical body, in my finances, in my brain. Any blockages, I command them to be loose, to be released. And I replace this with free flowing blood and cells and regeneration of healthy tissue within my body. I replace it with purpose and purity. Any blockages in my finances, I replace it with strategy and wisdom. Any blockages in my spirit, I replace it with purpose, with accepting my gifts, with being obedient to my intuition, to the spirit of discernment. Any blockages in my mental state of being, I release it and replace it with fresh, renewed brain cells and energy. Any sickness on my body, in my spirit, I release it and I replace it with pure, high vibrating health and wisdom. I release any stagnation, mental stagnation, physical, spiritual, emotional, vibrational, energetically stagnation in my existence. And I replace it with life, abundant, high vibrating, positive life, growing, purposeful life, healing life, loving life, stable and grounded and successful life. I'll pull one more card. Okay, we have the Two of Swords. I release any doubt in my mind that I'm making the right decision. I replace it with confidence. I replace it with emotional detachment. So I release the emotional detachment and I replace it with mental clarity. Calm, stable, calculated decisions. I release missing out on any opportunities because of my lack of indecision, because of my lack of wisdom, my lack of knowledge. And I replace it with knowledge. I replace it with knowing, not just believing, but knowing that I am making the right decisions, that I'm communicating with the right people at the right place at the right time, that I'm acknowledging any uprise in my emotions. And I am handling that uprise not in an emotional way, but in an emotionally detached way, in a stable mental way, so that it can be addressed wholeheartedly. I calm myself. I go within. I seek my own counsel. I trust and believe that my spirit is divine. It is divinely guided. And I move forward accordingly. I take responsibility for my words, for my thoughts, for my actions. I release being a victim in any shape or form. And that is the end. So now we're going to close it the same way that we began. And you can go on. You can stop at one card. You can do this several times a day, several times a week, several times an hour, however you feel guided to do this. So now we'll close this out with, I rebuke any assignment that has been sent to hurt, harm, or endanger, kill, steal, destroy me, my possessions, my property, my family, my friends. I command the assignment to be returned to sender, to manifest in that sender's existence and to devour that sender. And for the sender to be exposed by the manifestation of the assignment in their existence. If you feel that that closure is too harsh for you, you can always change it. I mean business when I say it, and I mean every single word of it that I'm saying, because I don't live a life of stealing, killing, destroying, of trying to hurt, harm, or endanger people. So I don't want that kind of energy coming around me. If you feel like that wasn't harsh enough, then you can certainly alter it so that it works the way that you need it to in your life, your existence. Be mindful that, with that prayer or curse or spell or whatever you want to call it, I am certainly acknowledging that what you put out there will come back to you. And that's exactly what I'm saying with that curse or prayer spell, that I'm just saying that, any detriment that you are sending towards me, I'm protected from that. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. But as well, I command any assignments or any weapons formed against me to be returned to sender and to manifest in that existence of that sender, and to devour them and let them be exposed so that I can see who is for me and who is against me. So you have to decide whether you think, that's harsh or too wimpy, or maybe you don't want to say that. Maybe you're Christian and you want to say, the Lord's Prayer, or a Muslim prayer or Indian prayer, or a Hindu prayer, whatever works for you. Make sure that you are doing what works for you. And whatever energy you put out into the universe, believe that it is coming back to you. And if it misses you, it's going to catch some generations down the line. So just be mindful of that. I am conservative, free spirit. I hope that this full moon in Sagittarius release and replace helped you, either to guide you down the line or to create your own, or to say, hey, I'm not into that. That doesn't work for me. It's not my thing. And that's okay. Peace and blessings to you. I am whole. I am healed. I'm protected. I'm loved. I'm light. Have a great, great day, everyone.